I tracked calories every day for 6 months, and this is what I found. 1. It unburdened my mind. 2. It became an easy part of my daily life. And 3. Progress became systematic. Alright, let's get into this. So 1. It unburdened my mind. What do I mean by that? When you are tracking calories and trying to make progress, people think it's really difficult. But I compare it to having a financial budget. If you have a budget for the day and you know exactly what you have to spend, it makes it a lot easier throughout the day. There's not that stress on your mind of, oh, I need to save, or maybe I shouldn't buy this coffee or whatever. You know, when you have a budget, you know exactly what your limitations and boundaries are for that day. As long as you stay within that, your mind is super clear, it's super relaxed. As long as you hit those targets, you're making progress towards what it is that you're trying to do. So with tracking calories, it absolutely unburdened my mind, because before that I was just in this mindset of, you know, I need to eat healthy, I need to eat high protein, I need to eat lots of chicken. And when you're just thinking like that, there's no real targets to be hit. It's a never-ending kind of goal that you're trying to reach there. Trying to eat healthy, trying to eat high protein, there's no like end state for that. So when you're actually tracking your calories, you know exactly what calories you need to hit, you know exactly what protein you need to hit, and once you've hit those targets, you can sleep like a baby at the end of the night. So this is the amazing thing with tracking calories that people just don't really understand. They think it's, you know, a bit too over the top, or it's an eating disorder or whatever. But actually, my mind's a lot more relaxed than someone else who's on their fitness journey and is thinking in that kind of holistic mindset of, I need to eat healthy and I need to, you know, just do these tasks throughout the day. But when you've just got a checklist and you know you can just tick that off and move on to the next one, it makes the daily life so simple. Like I think about my food and nutrition like 5-10 minutes every day. Like that's it. Tracking calories like doesn't add much time to my life. And that moves to the second part, is that it became an easy part of my daily life. When you get into tracking calories, it's a little confusing at the start, knowing how to track. Do I track food weighed, so not weighed, do I track it cooked or uncooked, or, you know, how do I track like peanut butter and all these little things? But once you get over that little hurdle, like everything in life, there's a little bit of a learning curve. Now it adds like 2 minutes max to my day, but what I get out of that is so much more than those 2 minutes I put in. So this is the amazing thing. You know, with just that 2 minutes, I know exactly what's going into my body. I know exactly what targets I'm hitting, and it makes daily life so much more easier. So not only is my mind unburdened from the nutrition aspect of my fitness journey, but it doesn't add any time to my life. I grab the food scale out. As long as you're eating whole foods, eating healthy, and this kind of forces you into eating a lot more healthy, because you can't be going out having processed foods. It's difficult to track. You don't know what's going in. You don't know what oils they're cooking with, how much extra calories are going into those meals. But it forces you to eat whole foods at home, you know, steak, eggs, all that kind of thing. You're going to be a lot healthier for it as well, because you need to be able to track that. And it's too difficult to track those kind of meals that you're at in restaurants and all that kind of thing. Not to say that you should never have that. Every now and then I indulge in those things because, you know, I've now earned it. But when you're just starting out and you're trying to move towards your goals, you need to be preparing your food at home, weighing it out, so you know exactly what's going into your body. And this leads to the last point, is that progress became systematic for me. When you're moving towards your fitness goals, if you're trying to lose weight or gain weight or trying to get stronger in the gym, it's much better and much more efficient to be tracking that, so you know exactly what's happening. So exactly like with a financial budget, I keep comparing it to this because I'm a finance bro, and you know, it makes it very simple in my mind. But you might be on a savings goal as well, trying to save up for a car, for a house. If you are analyzing the data, you know the days where you spent too much or you spent too little, and you can kind of adjust throughout the week, and maybe you need to adjust your habits to adjust to that new savings goal. It's the same thing with tracking calories and moving towards your fitness goal, is that if you know you're having 2,000 calories, you know, Monday through Sunday last week, and your body weight didn't change, then it becomes a fact of life, just a mathematical equation of what you need to adjust for the next week. You need to either lower your calories slightly, or you need to bump up your cardio just slightly, and you can make small adjustments. So this is the thing, when you're not tracking these things, and say you are, you know, you're doing a few runs a week, you're trying to eat healthy, and you're not seeing the weight on the scale move at all, and the next week comes around, you're super demotivated because you're not sure what to do. And the only solution you could possibly have in your head is just to do more. That's all you can come up with, right? So what do? Maybe if you're willing to, you try and go for like 5 runs, 6 runs, you try and go too crazy with it. And you actually burn yourself out and it's unsustainable. And you just don't know what numbers you really need to hit. But when I know exactly to the decimal point what data is going into my body, I can increase my cardio just slightly, just an extra 10, 15, 20 minutes per week, and continually slowly increase that. Or I can decrease my calories by just 100 calories. I don't need to chop out a whole meal because my weight didn't move. So this is the amazing thing. It makes progress not only systematic but sustainable. So if you combine all these things, you've got an unburdened mind, it's super relaxed, you don't really have to think about your nutrition throughout the day, and through tracking calories, it doesn't add much time in your life. Download MyFitnessPal, watch a quick YouTube video of how to track food, get the basics. Do a few practice runs throughout the day. You're going to realize that you're actually consuming a lot more calories than you would like to admit, especially tracking sauces and drinks and all that kind of thing. It's going to force you to eat a lot more healthier. And lastly, it makes all that progress so much more systematic and so much more sustainable. And that's what made my fitness journey over the last 2, 3, 4 months so much easier, but also I got more results. I've been going to the gym, trying to eat healthy, eat high protein, all that kind of stuff for years now. For 7, 8, 9 years, I've been in the gym consistently, but I've never been happy with my body. But it wasn't until the last kind of 4, 5, 6 months where I started to take it properly seriously, where I was actually tracking all my food, tracking all my weights in the gym, that I actually saw real progress. So those 8, 9 years of working hard, having nutrition on my mind, being so burdened, friends would ask me to go out for restaurants, to go and have like a chicken schnitzel meal at the pub or whatever. I'd be like, no, I need to eat healthy. Now I can integrate all those things in because I know exactly what my boundaries are. I know what I have to work with, and it makes progress so much more easier and simple. So I really recommend you getting into it. Don't look down on tracking calories as this, it's too over the top, or it's too much of a bit of a mental disorder or whatever it is. No, it's analyzing the data that's going into your body exactly like a financial budget. When I compare it to that, I'm sure you've got it as well. Like, it makes it so much more simpler on your mind. If you were going out and you didn't have a budget for the day, I bet even just buying like a small coffee, you'd have a little bit of a kickback in your mind, like, oh, maybe I shouldn't buy that. It's just a coffee. But when you know exactly you have, $40, $50 to spend for the day on food, entertainment, travel, whatever it is, then, as long as you hit that $50 or stay under, then you've hit all your targets for the day. You can sleep like a baby at night and know for sure, for a fact, that you are moving towards your savings goal. Same thing with calories, tracking, and fitness. As long as you hit those numbers, for a fact. There's no question mark in the sky of, is my weight moving? Am I making progress? I'm not sure what I'm doing. This is the trap, and this is the trap that I fell into as well. I never saw the weight on the scale move. I never saw my body composition change, and it was super demotivating for me because I just didn't know what to do. I tried training a little bit harder. I tried, cutting out that extra snack I'd have at night or whatever it is, and I never saw the progress. And it almost made me fall off my fitness journey altogether. I started going to the gym, 2, 3 days instead of, the 5 days I was doing before. But now I'm going consistently. I know exactly what's going into my body, and I know exactly what to do. So I highly recommend for you to start, just jump on YouTube, watch a quick 5-minute YouTube video of how to track calories. Start doing it, stop making excuses, and I promise it will work for you.